This is it, the last gasoline-powered Jaguar. So let's just go for a drive and enjoy this archaic and old-fashioned Jaguar before the company goes full electric. So what's making all of that noise underneath the hood? Well, it's the supercharged V8 that we've all grown to love. For this model year, it produces 25 more horsepower, so it's 575 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. The F-Pace SVR is a heavy SUV at 2 tons, but even so, it'll still accelerate from a stop to 100 kilometers an hour in 4 seconds. And boy, does it ever accelerate hard. This engine pretty much overshadows every other aspect of this car. It has torque low down in the RPM range, and of course every time that you put your foot down, you hear that machine gun noise from the back. If you're a bit more gentle on the throttle at low RPMs, then you can just hear the faint whisper of the supercharger whine. But most of the time, you're just going to hear that exhaust at the back. Obviously, being such a powerful engine in such a heavy SUV, this isn't the most economical way to get around. Currently, I'm averaging 14.2 liters per 100 kilometers. The last time that I drove the F-Pace SVR, I was averaging quite a bit more than that, but that was with mostly city driving. And the time before that, I averaged actually pretty much the same as I am right now. And that too was with mostly highway driving. So in a city environment, you're definitely going to see your average fuel consumption go out the window. But on highways, again, it's actually not that bad for the amount of power that this engine produces. But of course, you're not buying a car like this for the fuel economy. You're getting it for the performance that it delivers. The 8-speed automatic transmission not only provides smooth gear changes when it's in the comfort mode, but they are quick as well when you switch it into the dynamic mode. Plus, they are responsive whether you just let the computer decide what to do, or if you want to take over control with the paddle shifters. The brakes are big and red. They have really strong initial bite whenever you just lightly touch the brake pedal. But after that initial bite point, they do allow for smooth and gradual stops in everyday city traffic. Under heavier braking, I have noticed that the car does tend to just weave just a little bit, so you'd have to be paying attention whenever you brake really hard in this F-Pace SVR. With all-wheel drive and massive tires in the back, the F-Pace SVR has a lot of grip. Most of the time, the engine's power gets sent to the back wheels, with some of that power going to the front wheels when the wide rear tires do start to let go. Steering feels sharp and it's nicely weighted for such a hefty SUV, but it's not straining to maneuver it at parking lot speeds. The adaptive dampers have a bit more give in them when compared to something like the BMW X3M, but the big cat still provides a planted feeling when you're driving a bit more enthusiastically on some entertaining roads. With the adaptive dampers in their softer comfort mode, the F-Pace SVR provides a relatively comfortable ride on city streets. Although it has to be said that you'll probably still want to swerve around the bigger potholes. Those are 22-inch wheels with low-profile tires after all. The seats are a little on the firm side, but they provide very good support when you're just commuting or having some fun around twisty roads. As you've probably noticed by now, the F-Pace SVR is a loud car. When it's in the dynamic mode with the exhaust valve open, there's the traditional V8 roar when accelerating, burbles when upshifting, and crackles and pops when letting off the throttle. But when you just want to have a quiet drive to work, the active exhaust is quiet enough not to attract attention. You'll still hear the V8 burble, but it's not so loud. The low-profile tires make quite a bit of noise on highways. Not enough though to ruin a trip, but it is noticeable. Now taking a look at the interior of this Jaguar F-Pace SVR, and it is business as usual in terms of the materials. Leather across the center console, also across the dashboard and door panels. This SVR gains suede on the upper portion of the dashboard as well as the roof liner, and of course soft leather on the seats. The F-Pace received a mid-cycle update a few years ago, and of course this SVR also carries those mid-cycle updates. Most of them have to do with the center console and its design. The cup holders are underneath a sliding cover, and all you have on the center console is the engine start-stop, the gear selector, the volume for the infotainment system, as well as the rotary knob for the drive mode selection. Plus, there's 3 capacitive touch controls right underneath it for turning on and off the exhaust valves, turning on and off the traction control, and also the downhill assist. The climate control consists of 2 rotary knobs which you can push and pull, in addition to turning, of course. And if you pull on them, it'll adjust the fan speed, but if you push on them, you can adjust the heated and ventilated seats. In between them are more capacitive touch controls for the air direction or turning on and off the front or rear defroster. So I'm not a fan of those. I'd much prefer individual physical buttons, and same with the steering wheel controls. They're also capacitive touch, but thankfully it doesn't require any sort of swiping like how it does in Mercedes-Benz vehicles. The infotainment system is shared with Land Rover, so it looks pretty much identical, and it does support, of course, wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. If you've never seen this system before, it can feel a little bit daunting at first because some of the menus are hidden behind some other sub-menus, but once you get to know your way around it and you play around with a few of the different controls, it does become pretty simple to use. As for interior space, there's plenty of it up here in the front seats for my 6'4" height. I sit really high up, even though this seat is at its lowest position right now. But even so, I feel like I'm sitting just a little bit higher than I do in some other compact crossover luxury SUVs like the X3 or the Mercedes GLC. So I can easily see over the hood. I can even see the functional air vents. Blind zones are not too bad. Out the back, it's a little bit tighter to see, but also not too bad. And that's about it for the front seats. Now let's go sit in the back seats. In these back seats, space is a little bit tight for my above average height sitting behind my tall driving position. My knees are right up against the back of the front seat, and although it is covered in leather, it's not really padded leather. So every time that the driver would brake, especially really hard, my knees would be digging into the back of this front seat. So if somebody shorter was sitting in the driver's seat and I were a little bit shorter, maybe 6'2", 6'1", then I think it would be no problems in terms of legroom. As for headroom, I can feel my hair brushing just a little bit up against this very soft headliner. The center hump in this car is pretty big, so anybody sitting in the middle would have to spread their legs. The outboard seats are heated on this SVR trim, and you also do get 2 USB-C ports along with a couple of air vents in the center console. In the trunk, the F-Pace SVR has 601 liters of cargo space behind the rear seats. With the backrest folded, that number increases to 1,428 liters. Surprisingly, the 2025 Jaguar F-Pace SVR does come with a temporary spare wheel under the trunk floor. Like many things in life, the 2025 Jaguar F-Pace SVR is more expensive than before. It has a starting price of $104,200 Canadian, and this demo vehicle came with an as-equipped price of $111,690 Canadian. Being the top-of-the-line model, the F-Pace SVR comes equipped with just about every feature that is available on this SUV. Heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, soft leather upholstery, panoramic sunroof, wireless phone charging pad, head-up display, Meridian surround sound system, and so on. All that was missing on this demo vehicle was the 4-zone climate control option. As for the exterior design, the standard F-Pace is not a bad-looking SUV. The SVR treatment makes it look a bit more aggressive with larger air intakes in the front bumper, functional hood and side vents, and large quad exhaust pipes. I also really like some of the little touches like the slats in the bodywork behind each wheel. It's sad, knowing that this F-Pace SVR is the last of its kind. Jaguar, as I'm sure you all know, is becoming a full electric car company, just doing what everyone else is doing. But it's coming right at a time when EV adoption is slowing down, at least here in North America. So this might be the end of Jaguar as we know it. And it saddens me knowing that in the future, if I ever make enough money to buy a car like this, I won't have the chance to because it'll be gone. Hopefully, I'll still be able to see it out on the roads and maybe in the classifieds. But if you do have the money right now to get a car like this, please do get it. It's worth it. And if you'd like to know more about this F-Pace SVR, I have a more detailed written review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner right up there. And as always, I will see you in the next car, truck, or most likely another SUV like this one. Well, maybe not exactly like this one because this one is very special. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.